Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your guy Boulanger. This is the GM. And up next, man, in this video, what we want to talk about is how this could go totally wrong for the Baltimore Ravens, meaning this whole Lamar Jackson franchise tag scenario. And you guys saw my video where I basically was saying that this is an orchestrated attempt to suppress the market for Lamar Jackson, but also for the next guys up. And so in those next guys up is Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, um, Herbert out of the Chargers, and also Trevor Lawrence, who will be coming up for a new contract at the end of his third year. And the third year seems to be the marker for new deals to get done. Patrick Mahomes, drafted in 2017, got a new deal in 2020, end of his third year. Uh, he deserved it. He had already won Super Bowl by that time and an MVP. Josh Allen, drafted in 18 with Lamar Jackson, uh, got a new deal in 2021, end of his third year. Um, Kyler Murray, drafted in 2019, got a new deal in 2022, end of his third year. So Hurts, Herbert, and Burrow, they just completed their third years. And so it's time for a new deal. But that's why it was so urgent for the whole league to orchestrate this blacklisting of Lamar Jackson as it pertains to guaranteed money, because it's time for so many other quality star quarterbacks to get their new deals. And so I think Lamar Jackson had to be the example. Now, what you're going to see is Burrow, Herbert, and Hurts, their deals are going to take a little longer because they're going to have to wait and see. Their agents and their teams are going to wait and see what Lamar Jackson fetches on the free agent market, which doesn't start until March 15th. But of course, we know the tampering period, I think, starts 2 days earlier than that, which is next week, of course. And so I think their deals will be delayed because how interesting is it? This is why I say it was orchestrated, even on a deeper level than we understand. How interesting is it that Jalen Hurts, 2 weeks ago, there were several articles and several ESPN reports that said Jalen Hurts' new deal could get done by the end of next week, which would have been the end of last week. But have we heard any news on a Jalen Hurts deal? Certainly not. And we won't until this thing gets worked out with Lamar Jackson. At least I don't believe so. You see, how could they be in position to sign Hurts to a new deal, um, but then all of a sudden there's no talk anywhere. There's no reports, no nothing, right? Um, so I think those deals will take a little longer. I think they get done this year, this off season, but I think it'll be closer to draft night or into the summer rather than in the midst of free agency. See, because they don't have to be in a rush because all they have to do is pick up those guys' fifth year options and they can keep moving. Okay. But the Lamar Jackson scenario has to be done basically really quickly, specifically before draft night. Okay. And so um, when you really look at it, this is not just a Baltimore Ravens thing. This is a league-wide thing. Because like I said in my other video, how did all the teams that need a quarterback pull out? I've even heard the Commanders were out, the Panthers were out, the Falcons are out, the Dolphins are out. And then, of course, we know that the Jets are already um, pursuing a deal with Aaron Rodgers, and the Saints are already locked into a deal with Derek Carr. right? And then other teams that may need an upgraded quarterback, such as Detroit Lions, Crickets, right? Houston Texans, Crickets. Hadn't heard anything, right? And so, and so I think this has been well orchestrated. And so I'm super, super interested in who will knock on Lamar Jackson's door and what type of deal he fetches for sure. I'm interested to see that. Okay. Um, Another point I want to make this morning is that um, this could go real bad for the Ravens simply because players, specifically free agents, guys who are under contract and guys who will be drafted by the Ravens, they have no say so. But free agents 2023, free agents 2024, free agents 2025, they see what's happening. And the vets in the league have called this thing out. And we know that the vets on the Baltimore Ravens see what's happening. And so when you see this type of collusion that the Baltimore Ravens certainly participated in, I'm not saying they led it, but they certainly participated in it. It could go wrong because it could make um, free agents not want to come to Baltimore. See, Baltimore used to be a landing spot, but this could serve as such a black eye that teams choose to go, excuse me, players choose to go to other teams. Let's go one step deeper. Players also can see that Baltimore has a propensity not to keep their first round picks. Follow me. Lamar Jackson, first round pick, 2018, has the potential to be traded. Not because he axed out, but because they failed to reach a deal as early as 2 years ago. Now, here's a question. We wouldn't be having this kind of conversation if they did a deal 2 years ago. Okay. But here we are. But that's a first round pick that Baltimore did not retain up until this point. Hayden Hurst is already gone, 2018 first round pick. So that's two first round picks. Let's go to 2019. Who was there? Marquise Brown, already gone. Now he axed out, but the question has to be, why did he ask out? And then why would Baltimore let a first round pick out before their deal was done? You see what I'm saying? That's three first round picks already gone. Well, let's go Patrick Queen. Well, we know that there's been some rumor, at least up to about 3 weeks ago. There was rumor that Patrick Queen could be traded for draft picks. And the only way that news would get out is if Baltimore was involved in that news. So that has the potential to be four first round picks not retained. Okay. Watch this trend. Watch this trend happening. So when you look at Odafe and Rashad Bateman, which one of those have performed to a level that says we must keep them? At this point in time, neither one. So how many are we up to? Six, right? So you're talking about the potential for six first round picks to be landing on another team. Players see this. And so what you have to ask is what quality free agent wants to come play for an organization that's been highly scrutinized over the last month, and then they can't see fit to get a deal done with their franchise quarterback. Let's go one more step in this conversation. Now, hear me say this so that we are clear. Do I think Lamar Jackson should get a fully guaranteed deal? Nope. because I don't think Deshaun Watson should have got a fully guaranteed deal, but I can't do anything about that, and nor can any other team in the league. But I don't think that he should be undervalued. His floor for guaranteed money should start where Kyler Murray contract ended. Kyler Murray got basically $189 million guaranteed. 30 million of that was in a signing bonus. That's what pushed it up to that kind of rate. Okay. Russell Wilson got $161 million guaranteed. A good portion of that was in signing bonus, meaning what was due at signing. That's what pushed it up to 161. Now we have to debate. Would we take at this point Lamar over Russell? Yes, that means his floor has to be above what Russell Wilson's ceiling was. Okay, I'm only talking about guarantees right now. Would we take Jackson over Kyler Murray, which is a good comparison because they're both 26 years of age, although Lamar has a half a season more experience. But would we take Jackson over Kyler? Yes, we would, which means his floor has to be where Kyler Murray's ceiling is. Why? Because that's market value. You understand what I'm saying? And so there is no market at $230 million fully guaranteed. There is no market there. That's an outlier. And I will acknowledge that. But I also will acknowledge that nobody ruffled any feathers, was crying and weeping when Russell Wilson got his deal. Nobody said anything about guarantees when uh, Josh Allen got his deal. Nobody said anything about guaranteed money when Kyler Murray got his deal. I'm saying those guys, those young guys specifically, because they're in his age group and basically they're drafted 1 year apart. Nobody said anything, which means they were okay with the market being set there. Now we know basically the whole league was anti Deshaun Watson getting that deal, but they were caught off guard. So even if we throw Deshaun Watson's contract out, okay, now it's there, but let's throw it out. We still set Lamar on the top of the market, which has already been set by Kyler Murray at 100 and basically 89 million. So Kyler Murray signed a 5 year 230. So what's wrong with Lamar having a 5 year 250 and 200 to $215 million fully guaranteed? There's nothing wrong with that. That's the market. It's lower than Deshaun, but higher than Kyler Murray, which is where he should be positioned. And then that safely sets the market for Burrow, Herbert, and Jalen Hurts. And so I want you guys so miss me with the conversation that they should make more than Lamar, because the accomplishments kind of equal out. Hurts, Burrow have been to a Super Bowl, but they don't get no rings for going to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it. Okay. So the only hardware they have is nothing. The only credentials they have is we were participants in the Super Bowl. Okay. But talent on the field and potential, they kind of measure out to be the same thing. And let me tell you why. You've seen Joe Burrow ball out with the best receiving core in the league. I'm not knocking him for what he's done, but if we're talking about potential, potential hasn't happened yet, right? That's always what can be. But you've seen him max out having the best receiving core in the league, so you know what his potential is. Okay. And so you're going to pay him on accomplishment and potential, right? Okay. And then you go with Justin Herbert. Well, he's had two really good wide receivers, both Williams and Allen, and he's had the number one scoring running back in the league along with him. but he's done virtually nothing. He has one playoff win, just like Lamar has one playoff win. Okay, but they're gonna pay him on accomplishment and potential. Well, if it's based on accomplishment, he doesn't have any, not in comparison to Lamar. Okay, you go to Jalen Hurts, accomplishments. He visited the Super Bowl. If you want to make that an accomplishment, I mean, and I'm going to give him these guys credit for that. And then the potential. But what did Jalen Hurts have this year? The number one wide receiver in the whole league, and AJ Brown, and a really good 1A. I say 1A because he's not a number two receiver. Devontae Smith is a number one receiver. You know, Devontae Smith had 1,300 yards, and AJ Brown had over 1,400 yards. So you had two receivers total over 2,700 yards together. So you're supposed, and so that's what. So you base it on accomplishment and potential. Okay, Trevor Lawrence had some upgrades at wide receiver, led his team to the playoffs and won a playoff game. But he will be up at the end of the 2023-2024 season. So and he'll get paid on accomplishment and potential. And you're probably paying guys more on potential than accomplishment, more than likely. So when you deal with Lamar in comparison to his contemporaries, well, if you pay him on accomplishment, he's done just as much. He's on pace to have more wins than those guys. And then if you base it on potential, his potential exceeds Burrow, Josh Allen, who got his contract on potential and accomplishment, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Herbert. Why can I say that? Why can I say that? Because we've seen those guys get better and improve with great weaponry around them. We have not seen what Lamar can do with great weaponry. So his potential exceeds theirs because we've already seen what they can do with number one wide receivers and good number two wide receivers. And by the way, Joe Burrow has two number one wide receivers. Higgins and Chase are both number ones. So when we see these guys perform, we see them closer to what their potential is than we ever have with Lamar Jackson. So if you gave him some great weaponry, what is his potential? Heck, man, he won the dadgum MVP with a 29-year-old Mark Ingram, Willie Snead, a second year Hayden Hurst, and a second year Mark Andrews as his best weapons. So when you want to talk about potential, his potential exceeds theirs. And please don't hit me with injuries. Please don't hit me with injuries because Joe Burrow is going to get paid at or above Lamar Jackson's price with a torn ACL. You're not going to hear a lot of conversation about, oh, well, Joe Burrow, he has an injury history because a torn ACL is worse than a PCL sprain or a bone bruise. So get rid of that argument. Okay, you want to go Josh Allen? Well, Josh Allen, he struggled with some elbow issues this year, which is something that also plagued him the year before. So everybody has the potential to have some injuries. So all I'm saying is that we have to get to a place, man, where we have honest conversations about what's going on, what Lamar Jackson's market is, and and what's acceptable. We have to stop blaming Lamar Jackson for wanting what everybody else at his position has gotten. Every time that there's a new crop of quarterbacks, they reset the market. When Patrick Mahomes got paid, he signed the biggest contract um, in league history. This resetting is done right around every third year. When Josh Allen uh, um, got his new contract, he reset the market. When Kyler Murray got his contract, he reset the market for his quarterback group. And again, Deshaun Watson is the outlier. So listen, man, that's my rant this morning, man. I didn't really have a lot for you guys. There's nothing really to report um, right now. But to drive home my point with all that I said, it could go bad for Baltimore because the whole league, as it pertains to players, is watching how they operate. And if the players don't trust you, they're not coming there. And so Baltimore certainly could fail to sign any real talent this offseason if they don't get this thing straightened out. Listen, that's my take, man. Let me know what you guys want me to know, man, in the comment section. Uh, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit share, hit subscribe. I appreciate you guys. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.